Hi everyone, welcome back. We're going to do part two of this experiment, which is the change of phase portion. It involves latent heat, and we're going to basically boil some water off. Now, our new piece of equipment here is this kitchen scale. Now, it is not as precise as what we would see in the laboratory. So again, please make note of that. It looks like it measures by the ounce, and so let's see how precise we can get. We're going to use this as our beaker. So for the first thing, I will weigh the empty beaker, and let's give the mass. So the mass of this empty beaker in grams is about 460 grams. So that's, again, I can only read every 10 grams. So keep that in mind when approaching this lab from an error or significant figures perspective. So the next step is I'm going to take 200 milliliters of water, and I'm going to add it to the beaker. So there's 100. That's 200. And now the measurement of the scale is 640 grams. So one thing one can do is using resources online is find out about how much 200 milliliters of water, what the mass is of that, and at room temperature, and compare that to what we got here on our kitchen scale and see about how accurate it is. So the next step is I'm going to take this 200 milliliters of water, and I'm going to start heating it. And I will read off the temperature every minute and give it to you. And then when the boiling starts, I will set a 10-minute timer, and then I will continue. I'll read the temperature as I set the timer, and then I will continue heating for 10 minutes, and then I will take the water off the heat, let it cool for 2 minutes, and weigh it to find the final mass. So the goal here is to see how much has boiled off over the course of 10 minutes of boiling. So let's start. So I'll remove the beaker. I'm going to heat it in here. Okay, let's put this back. Okay, and I'll turn on my flame, and I'm going to start a timer. Now I'll read the temperature every minute. Let me lower that flame. Okay, so the initial temperature at 0 is 26.6 degrees Celsius. So let's read it in another minute. So it's been a minute. So the temperature now, 43.8 degrees Celsius. And we'll see it in another minute. I'm checking for bubbles, and so far nothing. Maybe a little on the side, but once it starts boiling, I'm going to just let it boil for 10 minutes and then read the temperature. Okay. So we're about 2 minutes in. So the temperature, we're at 65.8 degrees. That's 2 minutes in. Starting to boil. Yeah, so it's starting to boil. So what I'll do is I'll take a temperature reading now. Yeah, we're at about 78.5 degrees, but it is starting to boil off in some point. So what I'll do is I'm going to now set a timer for 10 minutes. Let's get the temperature before we do that. So we're at 87.6 degrees. It's getting pretty hot. I'm going to let it boil for 10 minutes, and I will start the video again a few seconds before I take it off the flame. So thank you. See you in a few minutes. Thanks. Hello, everyone. So we're just about there. Before I take it off the flame, I'm going to measure the temperature once again of the water. So it's reading at 100.4 degrees Celsius. It's been vigorously boiling off for just about 10 minutes. And let's take it off the flame. Okay, so we've done 10 minutes of boiling. Now we're going to give it 2 minutes of cooling. This way we're not handling water that's violently boiling still. So just letting it cool. What I'll do is wait one more minute. And what I'm going to do is once it's over, once the 2 minute period is over, I'm going to transfer this water to our mass balance again and read the mass off. And that should give us an indication as to how much is boiled off. Now, another source of error to consider in this experiment is that if we were in the lab environment, we would be heating the beaker directly. Here we have been transferring from vessel to vessel, so we might lose a little in that transfer process. Just another thing to consider when writing up your results. All right, so we're almost there. It's cooled down significantly. All right, that's about 2 minutes. Let's give it another couple seconds. Okay. Now, I'm going to carefully transfer. Okay. So the mass now is about 580 grams. And just for fun, let's measure the temperature of this water, see where we're at. So it's about 82.6 degrees. 82.5, 82.6. Oh, going up. Well, I'll give it another go because it's still steaming. Yeah. So it looks like now it's at 79.9, 80.2. It's fluctuating. It's okay. So temperature isn't the critical measurement for the second part of this experiment. It's really the mass. So that concludes the experimental portion of this. Um, and thank you so much for your attention. And see you next week.